Doing that I'm very excited about, and it is the Talk at the Nile. And for me, this is an opportunity to imagine that back in the day when wise elders met in special places and had great conversations about life's challenges and solutions. Sometimes I like to make these little journeys back in time just to keep myself centered in all the wisdom that's available to us in our world. And one of the wise people that I know is with me today to share this conversation. And this is Dr. Ida Green. Wave hello and say hello, Dr. Ida.
Hello, everyone.
I'm so excited that you're here because we met recently, and Dr. Ida has a tremendous history. Tremendous. And her wheelhouse is intuition, how to activate intuition, how to strengthen intuition, how to develop intuition, and how to use intuition. And she and I are soul sisters on this topic because we both have a pretty vivid and alive understanding of how wonderful it is to have great intuition active in your life. So, Dr. Ida, tell us your story. Tell us about how you work with intuition, if you'd like to. And I know you've got some great stories, so go ahead and just share.
Yeah, everyone, I was just thinking, Spirit reminded me just before I got on this call that it never recreated itself. Like we're all part of a kaleidoscope, a puzzle of life, the kaleidoscope of life, and it doesn't repeat itself in anyone. So even if someone say they do the same thing that you do, you have a different DNA, a different chromosome, so everything is different. So you don't want to get worried and scared about are they using intuition? Are they using that? It doesn't matter. Who you are and how you show up in the world is very different. And spirit reconnects and recreates itself different in everyone. So I want you to not get worried about that, because when I bring you into intuition, we look at your unique take, your unique way that you could present your intuition. I challenge that's the angels, Jesus, and the creator of the universe, I call God, but it always fine tunes it to just you and who you are and how you show up in the world. So it's not going to be a duplication of who you are. And I have been on this journey for quite some time. I had intuitive parents, but I was so I wouldn't say, because I grew up in a family where we were deprived of education. So a lot of the emphasis on education. So I got an education. I have in fact, I'm a registered nurse. I have a bachelor's, a master's in counseling, PhD in theology with a minor in counseling, all this education, because African Americans was denied the privilege to get an education. So that was just something that was really built into me. But I realized that my mother had this gift of intuition. She said, we got that from the African culture. So my father poo-pooed that because he wanted me to be an educator and be with the elite and all that. So it wasn't really until after my father died that, or I had an experience with intuition, because I was married before my father died, and I had this feeling of was like an itch all over my body that I shouldn't have married this man. And I ignored that because my first husband had died. And I thought, I want to get married again, won't have a family. And I just ignored all these signals, ended up marrying a man who was physically, verbally, and emotionally abusive. And I had to find a way to get out of that marriage. So I started growing my self-esteem, my self-worth, and now I have 22 books, but I was just writing about my pain and my trauma. I finally was able to get out of that marriage and started helping other women with domestic violence and abuse and anger. But all that stuff gave me the rich resources to be the person that I was. So I thought, I may not be listening to my intuition then, but I'm going to start listening to it. So I started listening to it. I did my first soul reading in 2000 for the Prime Minister of Malaysia, but I still was not ready to let spirit completely take over my life. So it's been a journey, because I want to do all the things that I want to do, and now I'm letting spirit take over my body, and I I'm the best and I channel. But before I thought, no, I just need to do what I need to do. I need to travel. I need to and write books. Anyway, I've been doing now I'm just, spirit has my attention 100%. I let it, I'm a vessel. I let it speak through me, channel through me. But I just need to get all the things out of the way that I want to do. So I, this is a perfect time. And so I am really into teaching people how to tap into their intuition, listen to it and tap into their intuition so they can make wise decisions in their business and their life. And then I have a program where I activate your intuition. For some people, they have it, and we just need to reactivate it and reawaken and stir it up again, like I did with Anaiis here. So everyone has that, but it does need some time. It needs some training, because in that class that I do, you're able to read my energy, and some people can't do that. So, but when you go through my intuition activation, you can read my energy and give me a message, which is I want to train everyone to do that, because everyone has the potential of becoming a light bearer. When you have more light inside of your body, you're very less likely to attract the dark energy, the dark entities. And when I end my intuition activation program, Jesus is there to cast out the demonic dark entities. So I just really want to invite you to take a look at where you're on this journey, see what it is that we're here to evolve and to grow and to be the expression, the arms and eyes of spirit. So let spirit use you, let it be that vessel that it can pour through, and you can make a difference in the world. And you don't have to do it all at once. It was a journey for me. I've been doing it for over 23 years. So you don't have to take that long. Now that I've gone through all the training and all the priming, now you're ready to just hop in and let me help you. And Anaiis went through my intuition activation program, so she understands that. So, and she looks at DNA. So everyone has a piece of the puzzle that they can help raise up humanity so we all can be vibrant, alive, and make a contribution in the world. You may think I'm making a contribution now, but you can make a bigger contribution than what you are now. So just ask yourself, what is it that I came to do, which I can help with your soul purpose? What is it I need to do, and how can I make a big difference in the world? So when I leave the planet, the world will be better off by me showing up than not operating on my full potential. So I would love to collaborate with you. I have you collaborate with Anaiis so that we can help you. We have the piece that you can, the missing piece that you can use to grow your business, expand your life. So use us. We're here as vessels and really teachers. I call myself a sage, and I'm an enlightened one. So I have a lot of knowledge and gifts and skills that I can support you with. I would love to connect with you and support you. I have a free intuition assessment that you can get to see if your intuition is dead or alive. And also for you in business, I have a business diagnostic. So I can always support you. I have a first Wednesday master class, a second Thursday webinar that I'm doing tomorrow to help you to unlock your intuition genius. So reach out to me. We only just need to keep reaching out, keep helping ourselves to help others, and realize your best days are in front of you rather than behind you. This is Dr. Ida, Soul Whisper Coach.
So I am so excited, and thank you for sharing all of that, Dr. Ida, because this is a very, very special person here. We are both connected, as she explains, in our very unique and individual ways. And that's actually the fun of it, because we can both respect and appreciate how we have some really cool stuff going on in our connection to source. And we can admire that it has its own unique quality. And what I love about that is it eliminates, in any terms of collaboration, it actually eliminates competition, because we don't have to concern ourselves with that. Now, I will share this with you. I did do Dr. Ida did her intuition activation on me, and I was so open to the experience. And I'm pretty open, and I'm a live wire as things go. But one of the things that when you talk about reading you, Dr. Ida, in the moment that you activated me, I actually had a flash of reading you that was just gorgeous. And for me, I've been doing, when I've been doing 30 years and lots of really wonderful stories to share, which I won't go into now. You can find that information on my YouTube channel, Accelerated Conscious Evolution. But I've traveled around the world, as has Dr. Ida, and I'm hoping we're going to make a trip together. I think we really have to make this happen. And one of the things that I saw as I was tuned in and Dr. Ida was interacting with my energy field was I saw that we have a very powerful connection with Christ consciousness. And I have not seen that in that way in many other people. So it was very exciting to me when I saw that. And it was validating my intuition that I needed to connect with Dr. Ida. And I'm so happy that I did. And I'm excited about what she might be able to help you with. We're coming into a time right now. In fact, we're already more than halfway in it. Where having your intuition activated could literally save your life. And as things get more complicated and more dynamic and maybe more dramatic and chaotic, having that connection to your intuition and being able to listen to it and trust it. You've got to be able to trust it. And that's the practice, because you have these moments and then you need the validation from the external world to say to you, yep, see, we told you, right? Do you agree with that, Dr. Ida?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a really interesting experience. So this is our talk at the Nile. And one of the things that I kind of find interesting is the difference between, it's not about gender, but a feminine energy has a different connection to intuition, I find, than a masculine energy. And both are valid and both are really helpful, but they function a little bit differently. And this is why I invited Dr. Ida to collaborate in an upcoming program that I'm doing. And I'm sharing her information with my audience because I would love them to have both a soul reading and an intuition activation before they come into my long-term classes and groups. This is the best way to set yourself up for success in the times to come, whether you're a business person or an artist or a creative or a stay-at-home wonderful homeschooling mom or dad. If you're the mompreneur, if you're the stay-at-home dad who's taking care of the kids, all of this is moving us forward because we're going to have some really interesting challenges to take care of. And your intuition can be such a beautiful part of that. So I just want to ask Dr. Ida, I have a story to share about intuition that I love to share. Is it all right with you, Dr. Ida, if I share that?
Absolutely. Go ahead. You have the floor.
Okay. So I don't channel in quite the same way that Dr. Ida does. I communicate directly. But one of the ways that my intuition works, it's very similar, is I just get a boom of information. And when I get that boom of information, it surrounds me. It's like surround sound. And I really appreciate that because it's not invasive. I feel it, I hear it, I know it, but it doesn't scare me. So I share the story of taking my entire family to Disney World for a week's vacation for a Christmas holiday. And this was my two children, my nephew, and my mom and my dad. And we were all getting on the same plane to fly from Philadelphia to Orlando. And we were on board and they were doing those last minute checks and closing the baggage bins and getting everybody, checking that their seatbelts were clipped and all of that good stuff. And I'm sitting in the plane and I've flown a lot. I'm not afraid of flying. Well, the first time I was, but I'm not anymore. And I'm sitting in the seat and boom, surround sound. There's a problem with this aircraft. Please go and get your people and get off the plane. And I sat there for a moment, wondering how that might be done. But the surround sound was really big and powerful, and like you cannot ignore this information. But at that time in my life, I had really already learned to trust my intuition when it presented itself to me like that. So I thought, well, this could be problematic, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to go tell everybody we've got to get off. And I don't care about the money. I don't care about the tickets. All of that can be replaced. My family can't be replaced. And we're going on Christmas holiday. And this needs to be a fun and joyous time. So I got up. It still was that place where you can move around a little bit. And if you got to go the last minute to the lavatory, we were still in that stage. So I got up. We weren't all sitting together. And I went to each person and I said, oh, yeah. I was trying not to say it too loud because I didn't want to alarm other passengers. Now, my family, they all went, and then they went, and they quietly began to gather their things because over the years in my family, my intuition has been validated. And so when I say give a message like that, people listen. Remember that old commercial about the investment company, EF Hutton or whatever it was? So-and-so says something, people listen. It's that kind of a feeling because it's carrying a lot of energy, and it's energy that's meant to protect you and help you live your life purpose in joy and abundance, right? So they're gathering their stuff. I've got my stuff, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make this all happen with the flight attendant. Because once they closed the door, this was before 9/11. Once they closed the door, they're really reluctant to open it again. So I got myself and I've got my things, and I'm slowly walking up to the flight attendant, and my people are up out of their seats and they're kind of walking towards me. And I had already decided in my own situation that if I needed to somehow request my body to just start vomiting, that it would do that. And then I would say to the stewardess, I'm so sick, I have to get off the plane, and we all have to go together. And so we all have to get off the plane. And I would have figured out a way to do that. But as I'm approaching the nearest flight attendant to make this happen, the loudspeaker in the cabin comes on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your pilot. This is Captain so-and-so. I don't remember his name. He said, we have been doing our last minute flight checks, our routine checks, and we've discovered that there's a problem with this aircraft. And I know that it's going to delay your travel plans a little bit, but we are going to get you all off this plane, get you to another gate, bring in another aircraft, and then you'll make your journey to Orlando. So if you would please cooperate with the flight attendants while we deplane you, and we take care of getting you where you need to go. Well, ask me how relieved I was that I didn't have to go through the, oh, please, I'm going to throw up all over everything. And that's just going to be horrible for everybody on this plane. So it's important for you to know that when you get a message like that coming through you, you're going to be supported in what happens, so that the message and the intuition that you got allows you to shift in whatever way is necessary to move you to your next best place in time and space. Okay, so you got to know that. Well, we got off the plane. I don't think we were delayed more than an hour and a half. It was no big deal. And we had a fantastic time on our holiday vacation. And I was so grateful that we were able to do it together. It was one of our most precious family memories. And I love to imagine how my own internal connection to my spirit and to source was with us for that holiday, and let it know that it was with us and keeping us safe and very connected to how we could best enjoy our time together. So that's one of my favorite intuition stories. It's not the only one, but I really like that one because it was so dramatic. It was just like, oh my God. Dr. Ida has a pretty good story. She's got lots of stories too, and you should really look her up online because she's a prolific author. She's got lots of books. So between her books that she's written and the information that she can share with you, as perhaps you'll take her on as your intuition coach, and she can train you, and you can get the feedback working with her that lets you know that your intuition has been activated and that it's serving you and serving those that you love and care about. And it also serves how you bring your gift into the world. So this is the kind of stuff we're going to talk about at the Nile. And I'm very excited that Dr. Ida decided to join me in this little experiment. And guess what? We're two wise elders. That's a nice way of saying I'm not going to, we are not, we've been around the block a bit. However, this is going to go up on Facebook, on YouTube, and it's being restreamed. And Dr. Ida, I got us connected up to Instagram. So it'll go on Instagram, and then we'll share it, and then you can put it as broad and wide as you want to. And so this is a couple of wise elders doing the tech thing, because we're in a very important time in our world, and we all need to be pulling together, working together, rising together, sharing our love and light together. So that's me. I'd love to have you look me up, and you can find me, and I've got lots of going on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. But this is the kind of sharing that's going to serve us well in the years to come.